What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Latin Explaining. My name is Denise Gonzalez. For those who do not know me, for the Latin explainers that do, welcome once again, guys. It's such a pleasure to be here with another episode of Daily News. You guys know how we do it out here. I hope that everybody that is watching me live and also the ones that are catching the replay have had an amazing and very productive Monday, just as I did. The beginning of the week. We know, during the weekend, we did a lot of stuff. We limpiar nuestra casita was another one of those chores, and we probably overslept this morning, but the show must go on. So I hope everybody is okay. I see that Morena, Moonchaser, Jose already started the chat. Welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And today we have a single topic episode of Daily News simply because we have a lot to unpack here with what's going on in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. You guys know that, of course, I give Puerto Rico always a priority. Yes, I am biased. I get it. I am. But I mean, there's so many things happening, and I think that what's brewing down there. I said it last week, and I think it's about to happen. And I want you guys to have all the details in case you don't have the time to go anywhere else for the information. I want you to hear it from somewhere. So first of all, let's start. Hey Inquisitor, what's up? First of all, I want to say that you guys know that last week we spoke about how teachers were protesting, how this whole situation came to happen. We have talked about the blue flu that has taken place in Puerto Rico since Halloween. We talk about the teachers' flu that started last week. And now we have another flu for public agencies. We have two more flus. We have the PAN flu, which basically goes by the DCPS employees that are underpaid and their pensions are also being cut. And also we have the red flu, which are the firefighters that are also coming together with teachers, with police officers, and they're all protesting against what these government officials have done for so long. And I'm amazed that it has taken public agencies and their employees so long to actually waking up to the fact that they have no retirement funds anymore, that they are underpaid, that they cannot take it anymore. But I want to share with you guys what's going on and all the details. So we're going to start with the beginning. You guys know that in this past 4-5 days, we have had, during the weekend specifically, a lot of news speaking about all the floodings that are happening around the island. Nothing was being done. Nobody was being informed that they needed to evacuate certain areas that are, very prone to flooding. And I've said this last week, this governor, his technique to actually govern over the island and knowing that he only has 33% of the support of the island is by making it seem like as if he's not there. I've said this, I think, 2 times already. That is his governmental plan. Like, he literally pretends that nobody is sitting in La Fortaleza, which is the governor's mansion, and that way we don't know where to place the blame, which is why I said it's going to take a lot for people to wake up and actually protest this man. And it seems like now this has been accelerated a little bit more thanks to the oversight board, which is obviously a group of people that it's like 8 people that actually are non-elected but make financial decisions for all Puerto Ricans and how they're going to be affected financially, how we spend our taxpayers' money, etc., etc., etc. Well, during this weekend, there was no plan, no rescue, no nothing. And a lot of people were trapped in their vehicles. A lot of people, their vehicles were swept away. A lot of people lost a lot of property. Till this day, that started happening Friday. Till this day, the governor did not address any of that. And he still today gave a press conference that was very controversial. And what he started saying is that he still doesn't know an estimate on dollars amount of how much damage there is. And his excuse for being so mediocre in his response in the face of this natural disaster was that he said that, oh, we only knew that there was rain was expected, but it was basically, 1 or 2 inches of rain. Like, wasn't something so drastic. That's why we weren't prepped. And I'm like, giving him the side eye. I see that Moonchaser asked, was he elected by the people there? He was only elected by 33% of the votes. I think he has 4% more of the approval rate today that Joe Biden has. Joe Biden has 29%. He has 33%. But now with what he has done to public employees, it's going down. I think Ricky Rosselló, our last governor that was elected, had 48, I think 48 or 42% of the votes. This is the lowest. I think this is the lowest votes that a governor has acquired in Puerto Rico ever in its history. So yeah, 67% of the island does not want Pedro Pierluisi there. So he needed to tread carefully. But I am not surprised because I have been watching this man's trajectory for a while. As a matter of fact, I'm going to link down below once I finish this news today. I'm going to link below in the description box the previous video that I did about who is this man, like before all this stuff started happening, because I have been following politics for a while now. And I know this man comes from doing all kinds of crazy, shady business, going from the public sector, then into the private, then into the public. And we're supposed to trust his word that he's not going to share national secrets with the private sector. That's basically who he is. And but I want you guys to hear a little bit of what he had to say. Of course, I'm going to just put clips. I'm gonna try to give you guys as much time to hear what he basically said today, to respond to many things that were said to him during this press conference that he held today. And I'm going to focus more on what I stated before, which is what he responded towards the ongoing protest of associated with the teachers' flu. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys hear what he has to say.
Consistente en que nuestros servidores públicos tienen que ser compensados justamente para poder proveer los servicios esenciales que nuestro pueblo necesita y merece. Esto es especialmente cierto con nuestros maestros y maestras, ya que la educación de nuestros estudiantes es crucial para el futuro de Puerto Rico. Desde el comienzo de mi gestión, he sido claro de que vamos a priorizar la educación. Luché para reabrir las escuelas en medio de la pandemia. Logramos tener un verano escolar exitoso y comenzamos un ambicioso programa de reconstrucción, mejoras y reparación de las escuelas en busca de garantizar planteles seguros para los estudiantes y el personal que labora en ellos. Esos esfuerzos continúan a través de todo Puerto Rico, con especial atención a las escuelas del sur que fueron afectadas por los terremotos. También hemos sido agresivos desarrollando estrictos protocolos para...
Now, I'm going to stop right here because if you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, for the people that speak Spanish, I'm going to try to sum up for the people that don't. But basically, when asked about what's going on with the teacher's flu and all this stuff, basically, he's just pointing out all the great things that he has done, all the repairs he has done in the South, where earthquakes devastated many schools that are still collapsed. And I want you guys to make no mistake, this guy is lying through his teeth. These schools are still collapsed. Nothing has been done. I'm going to show you eventually during this stream all the beautiful work that he has done also for the firefighters in that same location in the South. And we have seen how this is not something that is run by the mayor. So the mayor of Guayanilla cannot actually intervene and rebuild the firefighter's house. This is state level. That's his responsibility. And he's talking about the South and all the things that he has done. And he keeps talking about all these magnificent things. And basically what he says is that he's going to temporarily give teachers $1,000 pay bump from federal funding that he has been assigned for the Department of Education. And basically, while he sees if he can make it permanent later on from more taxes. That's basically what he's addressing today. So Inquisitor, he's from the New Progressive Party. He's PNP. So basically, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit so you guys can see. After he told teachers during this press conference that he was gonna give them $1,000, basically to just shut up. This is basically what he says, and I want you guys to pay close attention if you're Spanish speaking people. If not, I will translate after this, so don't worry about it. But I want you to pay close attention to when he talks about why he gave teachers this quote unquote concession of $1,000.
El manejo del COVID-19. Respeto muchísimo la libertad de expresión. Sean protestas, sean marchas, sea lo que sea, yo los respeto. Ahora bien, ante todo, yo tengo que defender la educación de nuestros niños, niñas y jóvenes. Ante todo, yo tengo que evitar que se interrumpa esa educación por las razones que sean. Hay formas y maneras de expresarse. Hay formas y maneras de marchar y protestar, pero jamás debe ser para causar que nuestros niños y niñas y nuestra juventud no tengan el pan de la enseñanza. Hay alternativas a la hora de expresarse, pero lo que ocurrió el viernes pasado, por el bien de Puerto Rico y particularmente de nuestra niñez y nuestra juventud y nuestro futuro, que no se vuelva a repetir.
So you guys heard basically what he said. He said, for the people that don't speak Spanish, he basically said that he respects everyone's right to protest and freedom of speech. But he's basically doing this because he values over everything else. He values the education and the future of our children. So basically, he's doing this mainly because he believes that kids need to go back to school. So he hopes that in light of that, there are other ways to protest instead of just doing what teachers did. So he hopes that what happened last Friday when all these people closed down the schools, never showed up, and calling the teachers flu and went in protest in front of Old San Juan, he hopes that it doesn't happen again. That's basically what he said. So I'm gonna continue. I see that Moonchaser says, just by looking at him, I can tell his heart isn't. Yeah, this dude is the worst. And I'll show you. So brace yourself, get comfortable, get your snacks, get your drinks, because I'm going to show you guys just how amazing and how committed this man really is to Puerto Ricans. I see that Inquisitor says, defiende la educación y déjale saber a los niños que el COVID es la monga de nuestros abuelos y padres. No, hombre, no. Now, to be honest with you, I never agreed to like the whole masking kids or locking them down or nothing, because it has been proven that it doesn't affect kids the same way. I don't agree with that. But this is something different. This is something completely different. But let's hear now. What happened is that teachers are still organizing with cops, with DCPS personnel, and with firefighters to protest this man this Wednesday. That's what's happening, and it's going to be a massive protest. And I want you guys to hear what he has to say. I'm going to jump a little bit on so you guys can hear basically what he responds when asked about what's going to happen this Wednesday. So brace yourselves because it's not necessarily pretty.
En la reunión que se supone que se dé en Fortaleza, y me gustaría saber si usted va a estar y su reacción a que va a haber una...
En realidad, ya yo me expresé ya en cuanto a las marchas y las protestas, todas se respetan. Claro, yo creo que hoy yo he atendido gran parte, si no todo, por lo que se puede marchar y protestar. Así que espero que se disemine bien en los medios y se enteren, porque eso debe tener un impacto. Por otro lado, si de todas maneras quieren marchar y protestar, se les da la bienvenida. En cuanto a reuniones, para que todos estén claros qué es lo que ha pasado aquí. Yo me he reunido en múltiples ocasiones con los directivos de la Asociación de Maestros es decir, Víctor Bonilla, entre otros. Así como con la presidenta de toda la asociación a nivel de todo Estados Unidos. Y lo he hecho porque bajo la ley de sindicato, de sindicación de Puerto Rico, la asociación es la representante exclusiva de todos los maestros ante la rama ejecutiva. O sea que han sido múltiples las reuniones que hemos tenido. En cuanto a reunirme con otros gremios, lo he hecho, usualmente lo he hecho, que he convocado a todos los gremios, aquí mismo en el centro de convenciones lo hice en un momento dado, se convocaron prácticamente todos los medios y tuvieron los gremios y tuvieron la oportunidad de compartir por varias horas conmigo. En cuanto al miércoles, se les va a recibir y siempre las instrucciones que tiene mi equipo de trabajo es que si mi presencia es indispensable y no hay algún tipo de conflicto de calendario, yo voy, yo no tengo problema. Lo que pasa es que muchas veces mi equipo de trabajo es efectivo y resuelven lo que tienen que resolver. Pero que sepan que, más, ¿cómo es que puedo decir? Acciones valen más que las palabras. Ya lo que yo he hecho hoy no es reunirme. Ya lo que he hecho hoy es realmente conceder el aumento de los $1,000 que tanto han reclamado.
Sí, la otra pregunta es sobre los bomberos que tienen un reclamo similar y también han dicho que se van a unir a paralización de trabajo el próximo miércoles.
Pues en el caso de los bomberos es otro reclamo que le hice a la Junta, porque a la Junta también le pedí un mayor aumento para los bomberos, así que se asemeja la situación. Yo le voy a pedir al secretario de Estado y jefe de AFAF que ausculte la posibilidad de en lo que la Junta reconsidera, y otra vez es la misma situación, o sea, la Junta va a estar en posición de reconsiderar cuando se materialicen fondos de Medicaid, cuando se materialicen recaudos adicionales. En lo que eso sucede, evaluar la posibilidad de que por la vía de incentivos provenientes de la ley ARPA podamos mitigar ese golpe, o sea, podamos darles una mano a los bomberos que, admito, están mal pagos.
Con el nuevo día.
Gobernador, en esa misma línea, los bomberos no solamente que ya habían convocado una manifestación para el miércoles, sino que aprobaron que van a cerrar desde la medianoche de hoy los cuarteles hasta el jueves. Básicamente en el llamado movimiento del reflujo, y por eso es que la pregunta en específico es,
No.
usted dice que respeta las protestas. Le pregunto, ¿usted va a permitir que las protestas se sigan dando bajo la utilización de los días de enfermedad para que estos
Bueno,
empleados no vayan a trabajar? O sea, ¿usted
sí,
va a
sí,
dejar los que sigan usando sus días de enfermedad como excusa para protestar?
no, bueno, voy a hacer comentarios similares. Aquí no está aquí el secretario de
Here
Seguridad
comes the
Pública,
comment.
salió,
Pay
imagino, para
close
atender el asunto
attention.
de las inundaciones, pero voy a hacer comentarios adicionales que hice cuando se dio lo del fin de semana de Halloween. En aquel entonces, mis expresiones estuvieron dirigidas a los policías y yo lo que dije es que el deber de defender nuestra seguridad pública, es decir, vidas y propiedades, es un deber sagrado. El que asume ese deber prácticamente lo tiene que asumir sin condiciones. O sea, eso no es un deber que uno puede relegar. Y hay formas y maneras de protestar y de marchar, pero jamás debe conllevar el tú poner en peligro la vida de los demás cuando ese es tu deber. O sea,
So guys, you basically listen to this guy, and like I said, I stop him because he literally makes me barf. And I'm going to show you like all the times where Pedro Pierluisi, because it's something that piqued my interest when he basically said um that this position has to be held with no conditions. When you're a public servant, you should have no conditions, especially when it comes to preserve the lives and the rights of others. That's basically what piqued my interest when it comes to Pedro Pierluisi, because he is in no position to actually talk about this stuff. And I find it very hypocritical. That's how we know this guy is lying through his teeth. And that's why I support people protesting this man out of the Fortaleza, which we never wanted him there to begin with. But I am going to share with you guys because, like I've said many times here, we don't just do dishes, we also scrub the sink here. We don't just change the oil, we also change the filter. We're going to go with receipts. Okay. So he's talking about basically preserving the lives of people. I'm going to take you down the memory lane because I remember many things about this man, and I pull out the receipts for you so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is something that was posted in 2019, but we knew this since 2002. And it basically says, I don't know if you guys remember when Pedro Pierluisi tried to become the governor illegally. After Ricardo Rosselló was kicked out of the governor's mansion in 2019. But there's a lot of things that came out of that. And one of those receipts was Puerto Rico's new governor lobbied for coal utility accused of poisoning groundwater. And it says now, if he survives the Senate confirmation vote, Pedro Pierluisi will oversee the effort to privatize the island's public power company. And this was published in I'm sorry, August 4, 2019. Now we're going to go a little bit down the road so you guys can see what they're talking about. It says Puerto Rico's newly sworn in. That was in 2019, and eventually Wanda Vasquez took over because he took over illegally. Pedro Pierluisi is a veteran politician who represented the territory as its delegate in Congress and served as Justice Secretary. In between, he worked as a corporate lawyer at O'Neill and Borges in San Juan. This company, this law firm, is basically his brother-in-law's law firm. This law firm has a lot of clients, but two in particular represent a conflict of interest when you analyze who he worked for. But let's get there. It says where he represented AES Corporation. Don't forget the name, the coal fired utility giant accused of polluting groundwater with toxic ash, and the unelected 8-person, brace yourselves, financial oversight board and oversight and management board imposing painful austerity cuts on the island. Now, if you guys don't remember what the basically what the financial oversight and management board did in Puerto Rico, that's basically the people that I've been talking about. Pedro Pierluisi worked both for AES Corporation and also the oversight board. Those two combined are basically all of our problems. So if that doesn't represent a conflict of interest to you, I don't know what is. But that's not the worst part. We're just scratching the surface, okay? So let's go basically who is AES? I'm sorry, because we know already what the oversight board is, but who AES is. And I'm going to show you guys who this company is that Pedro Pierluisi worked for, since he's so interested in preserving the lives of people, and that you should not you should do things based on your morale and whatnot. So let's just go to what AES is. AES, this was published in January 13, 2022, this year, January of this year. And it says, AES Puerto Rico, 20 years of coal ash contamination. It's time to put people above profits. I wonder how much Pedro Pierluisi profited at the expense of people's lives. Don't you guys wonder that? Because I do. But let's just continue. It says, as if Puerto Rico isn't ready, overburdened, and under resourced to address a host of environmental injustice, coal ash waste plagues the island and some of its poorest communities. Coal ash, the toxic waste left after utilities burn coal to produce electricity, has contaminated the island's air, soil, and water, with the polluter refusing accountability. Applied Energy Services, AES, a multinational company based in Arlington, Virginia, with assets exceeding $33 billion, opened its coal plant in Guayama, Puerto Rico in 2002. Since the plant's opening, AES Puerto Rico has woefully failed to protect Puerto Ricans from its toxic waste. Now, again, we're talking about life, and then you wonder why Pedro Pierluisi represented this company so that they could come to Puerto Rico and actually deposit their toxic ashes in our land. But he's talking to the cops and to the public servants because he said that he cares so much for Puerto Ricans. But then he killed us with that same on that same breath. Only maybe when it's convenient, when he's not holding a public office. But let's continue. And it says, a study conducted by the University of Puerto Rico's Graduate School of Public Health between the years 2016 and 2018 found that the rates of chronic diseases like cancer and respiratory illness has doubled. And we can all attest to that. And I'm going to bring you the study. You want to know the study that they're talking about? I'm sorry. The study that they're talking about is this. Give me 1 second. We're going to touch on it. Bear with me. We're live. We're going to see what study they're talking about. So give me 1 second. This is the study we're talking about, okay? So basically, this study was performed by students of the University of Puerto Rico, as you guys can see. It says the prevalence of chronic diseases in the communities of Miramar and Puerto Rico de Jobos in the municipality of Guayama, one investigation per survey. And it was done by Luisa Bonilla Soto, BS, MS, MSc, GCB, MPH, MSDC, and a PhD on environment and health professor. He's a department of he works at the Department of Health and Environment. He's a graduate from the School of Public Health, Medical Science campus in the University of Puerto Rico. Now, if we go to page 7, I'm going to show you what diseases they're talking about and what basically it's happening as a result of Pedro Pierluisi's best friends when he worked for O'Neill and Borges, which was as recent as last year. I'm going to show you basically the diseases that they're talking about. And I'm going to amplify a little bit so you guys can read it. The diseases that they're talking about are asthma, and their prevalence out here 17% in 2016, and in 2018 increased to 25.2%. Respiratory failure in 2016 5.8%, in 2018 it increased to 11.3%. I'm not going to do the percentage, you guys can read it. Bronchitis, emphysema, allergic rhinitis, chronic bronchitis, lung fibrosis, sinusitis. Now, cardiovascular diseases, all CVD, okay? Overall, this is the percentage over here. Now, hypertension, cardiac arrhythmia, myocardium stroke, skin diseases, allergic contact dermatitis, hives, cancer diagnosis. All cancers are up in just 2 years, 5.1%. Diabetes, in just 2 years, more than 50% up. Now, this is the part that's one of the saddest parts. Spontaneous abortions, 21.6% in 2016, 9.5% on 2018. So when this man talks about all the things that he talks about and how the actual Puerto Ricans should not protest and should not organize to actually preserve our people, our island, our basically our little corner in the world. And he dares, how the audacity, because that's what he has, the audacity to say that he cares about our people more than we do as the people. This is when he crosses a line, because we know that's a lie. And there's many other things. Like I said, I'm going to link the video that I did on this man last year on the description below. So if you're catching this live or on the replay, make sure to click that so you can actually see the length of how disgusting this man's politics and how much he actually quote unquote cares about Puerto Ricans. He doesn't care about Puerto Ricans. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about nobody on the island. He only cares about lining his pockets. And I will not hold my breath for anything that he's promising, because we knew this before he got elected by the 33% of the votes. We knew that this man was like this, and we have seen him operate like that. And it's so crazy to me that he thinks that he can bully public agency employees into not protesting. Hey, Rakim, what's up? That's what's literally what he's doing. He's trying to bully public employees into not protesting. Oh, you want to close down the precinct because I'm not paying you the money I'm supposed to pay you to risk your fucking life? That's not the way you're supposed to protest. You're supposed to risk your life even if I want to pay you 50 cents. That's basically what he's saying to cops. And then to firefighters that are working on horrible conditions, he's telling them, oh, you know what? No, you should still work out of that provisional and temporary room that I created for you. You should work and risk your life, risk getting burned, and risk doing all the things that you do for $1,500 measly pre-tax dollars. That's basically what he's saying to people. And we should listen to him. That's what literally irritates me, is the fact that a lot of people keep saying, oh, like law and order, we should not do these things, we should not put the governor on blast, we should not protest for anything. Cry me a freaking river. Cry me a freaking river. This man is a disaster. And if you don't believe me, that's okay. Okay. Because, like I said, we're going to see the declaration of the island of Puerto Rico increase and increase and increase until people actually wake up and it touches them. I think that's basically what's happening right now, because it wasn't, firefighters used to be very much fanatics of the PNP, the New Progressive Party. They used to be like the biggest fanatics of Pedro Pierluisi, of Ricky Rosselló. They were the ones that used to tell us all the time why we should not protest. There are ways to protest, guys. You should not do that. They used to call us hairy Venezuelans. That's what they used to tell us all the time. I will hear firefighters and their unions telling us all the time, oh, here comes the hairy Venezuelans are protesting to overthrow this governor. I don't know why. He's so good. These people are criminals. But now, guess what? And I'm going to show you this. It has touched them. Now, all of a sudden, it has touched them. And I am glad it did. I am sorry that it did, but at the same time, I'm glad it did. Because now they understand what we've been saying for a while. Because there is something going on in our people. I love my people and I love the way we are. But there's something going on with our people. And that is that we are unable to understand that not just because you're older, you know everything. Sometimes the people that are working currently to actually build something for themselves know what's up as well. And we should have the conversation. But let's just see now that, all these bootlickers, the firefighters and the cops that have been bootlickers, have been shooting tear gas on us and all this stuff for protesting these people. Now this is, I want to show you guys, when the earthquakes happened in 2020, 2 years ago, in January 2020, that was 2 years ago, there was a firefighter's house collapsed, and they built a provisional room that was supposed to be temporary, and it has become their permanent home. And I'm going to show you some of the images. This is their lunch room. This is where Pedro Pierluisi has firefighters eating right now. That's basically where they eat. So all the bootlickers that were telling us that we were hairy Venezuelans, that we didn't know what we were talking about, that we were going to destabilize the nation, that we didn't know what's going on. I'm glad to a degree that they are now living through this. This is their office where they take calls. Okay? This is where they take calls right now. This is what's happening. This is their reality. And if you want to see, you guys want to see where they sleep right now? This is where they're sleeping right now, which looks like this on the outside. That's the treatment that you get now under these maniacs that are running the island, these criminals. This is the treatment firefighters, which are something so vital in this country, in any country. This is the treatment that the bootlickers get. This is what they get. And then you get the privilege of getting paid $1,500 an hour. And then Pedro Pierluisi has the audacity to tell you, to tell me, to tell the firefighters, to tell the DCPS employees, to tell the teachers, the cops, and everybody else that they don't have the right to fight, that they don't have the right to protest, and they should protest however he wants you to protest. This is what's been going on. And I don't want to go it deeper because you guys know that, I'm trying to keep it short. But at the same time, you guys have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, you guys have seen very clear how schools are. I've spoken many times about the state of schools. You guys have seen here when I interviewed the Lion Man, he told you guys, because he's on the ground in Puerto Rico reporting this stuff. You guys saw when I talked to Jacob Fuentes, I show you guys the state of the Department of Natural Resources. This is not just one thing. Nothing freaking works. There's no way in the world where the firefighter's house should look like this. Yeah, Jose says, it's like a tacky shack. Absolutely. JS says, this is a sin. That is a sin. In your own country, I would be pissed too. Absolutely. This is what's going on. This is how firefighters, one of the most prestigious positions in any country, this is the treatment they get. And he has the audacity to tell you to not protest. That you closing down shop, that's barely a chop. But you closing down that little fucked up shack is not the way to protest. That's what he is saying to the people. Do you really think that we're going to listen, Pedro Pierluisi? I don't think so. We are ready. I don't think this can hold up any longer. I don't think this is going to get better. I think this is going to get worse for him. And I am enjoying every bit of it because we have seen this man's devastation for a long time. Okay, so guys, that has been my perspective on this whole crisis and how Pedro Pierluisi is in super deep water right now when it comes to the Isla del Encanto. He's the worst colonies administrator in history. I think Ricky Rosselló was the worst. No, he is the worst. So guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this man? Put it over there. I'm going to link the video down below. If you're catching this on the replay, make sure to let me know, what do you think about this man? Do you think there should be a measure to actually kick him out in any other way? Do you agree with the protest? Do you think people are just whining? Do you think people should just suck it up and do it? Let me know in the comment section, and I will be back tomorrow with another episode of news. Guys, and don't forget, this Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to come back with conspiracy theories. Our first episode of conspiracy theories and conspiracy Thursdays is going to go deeper into those conspiracies that we have been hearing on lately and figure out if they are truth or is just a myth. I see that Introvert Boricua is here. What's up, Ramon? My fellow Boricua, ¿cómo están, mi hermano? He said para la fortaleza. Definitely. If this turns into a mass protest, I will scrape whatever I have to scrape, and trust me, I will go there. Would you go there? I will go there, of course. And, de paso, I cannot eat anything because, of course, you guys know I'm on a restricted diet, but I can smell it. But anyway, guys, that has been all for news today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to keep you guys posted on this whole situation. Hopefully, people gather the strength to actually come together. Wednesday, make no mistake, I'm going to bring you every detail from the beginning to the end of what's going on with the protest. I might do a longer stream so that you guys can know exactly what's going on. I'm going to try my best to document as much as I can, and I will meet you guys here as usual at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, and the rest of the week. So see you guys tomorrow. Peace.